Item number SCP-5000. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-5000 is to be kept in a deactivated state within a standard storage unit located at Site-22. All files and intelligence retrieved from SCP-5000 are to be stored on a secure server, with backups available upon request from the Archival Department. Description: SCP-5000 is a non-functional mechanical suit identified within its internal schematics as a absolute exclusion harness designed by the SCP Foundation. Although SCP-5000 is believed to have once possessed a number of anomalous functions intended to both protect and benefit its occupant, damage inflicted to it in the past means it is currently only capable of basic file storage. For a record of files contained within SCP-5000 upon recovery, see Archive 5000-1. SCP-5000 first appeared in a flash of light within SCP-579 containment chamber at Site-62C on 12/04/2020, containing a corpse genetically identical to Foundation employee Pietro Wilson. Pietro Wilson is currently employed at Exclusionary Site-06, and Nemestic Therapy has confirmed he has no knowledge of SCP-5000 or the memories concerning the events detailed within its archives. Archive 5000-1. Journal Entry 01-1. My name is Pietro Wilson. I don't know what's happening. I think I might be the only one left. The date is 2/01/2020. Sorry, thought transcription is tricky. Sorry, I'm not used to this yet. The date is 02/01/2020. I've just escaped from Exclusionary Site-06. I think, I'm not certain, but I think everyone else is dead. Those guys, they were thorough. If I hadn't got to the suit, I'd be... Oh, God. Journal Entry 01-2. I need to get myself together, or this thing isn't going to be legible at all. Most likely going to want some kind of record of this whole incident for posterity. I'm currently on my way to the nearest Foundation installation, a small safe house for agents making their way through this part of the country. Most likely there won't be anyone there, but I should be able to get into contact with my superiors and find out exactly what the hell's going on. The thing started around 6, maybe 7 hours ago. A group identifying themselves as Mobile Task Force Zeta-19, the Lonely Only, insurgent infiltrators maybe? I don't know. They entered the site, they had the proper identification and everything. They gathered everyone into the canteen and then they just started the shooting. Jesus, I can still taste the blood. I can't get that awful metal taste off my tongue. It's a miracle I didn't get hit or trampled on the way people were climbing over each other to get out of there. If I hadn't got to the exclusion harness, I'd be dead. No doubt it. Like I said, they were thorough. I'm a technician for the power grid on ES-06, so I don't fully get how the thing works, but I understand the basics. This perception filter thing doesn't mean people can't see me, but it does mean they can't recognize the fact they can see me, which I guess is the same when you get down to it. But those infiltrators, they didn't even take anything. They didn't try to. I just watched after they got into this thing, and I was so scared. I'm such a fucking coward. I just made a run for it. Then they checked the bodies and left, an extra bullet for every head. They were just there to kill us. Journal Entry 01-3. Finally made it to the safe house after hours and hours of trudging through this goddamn desert. I heard a few explosions in the distance. Maybe the Foundation sent an MTF to engage those infiltrators before they got away. God, I hope so. I'd never been so happy to see bottled water in my life. The harness sustains your body for a while you're wearing it, apparently, but my mind still thinks I should be drinking. Human nature, I guess. Anyway, once I get these legs of mine rested, I'm going to try and get these systems online. I need to get in touch with the Foundation and find out exactly what the hell's going on. Journal Entry 01-4. Holy shit. They sent this to every government, news organization, and anomalous agency on the planet. Fuck me. The following message is composed via the consensus of the O5 Council. For those who are not currently aware of our existence, we represent the organization known as the SCP Foundation. Our previous mission centered around the containment and study of anomalous objects, entities, and other assorted phenomena. This mission was the focus of our organization for more than 100 years. Due to circumstances outside of our control, this directive has now changed. Our new mission will be the extermination of the human race. There will be no further communication. Composed File 01-1. Immediately following the release of the worldwide announcement, the Foundation began their assault on mankind. The response to the anomalies the Foundation let loose was as quick as it could have been, but the damage is being done. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on, but from my position here, accessing the Foundation network and keeping track of the news, I've managed to grasp a little. I'm going to get everything I know down, so when this is over, if anyone's still alive, they'll know what happened to us. The following is a list of the anomalies released and the action taken by the Foundation. SCP-096. Images of SCP-096's face circulated on social media platforms. Death toll had already reached the hundreds before the images were taken down. For all I know, that thing is still going. SCP-169. A series of nuclear charges are detonated within and along SCP-169's back, causing it to stir in its sleep slightly. The resultant earthquakes and tsunamis devastate a significant number of coastal settlements around the world. SCP-662. Over the course of 24 hours, an individual whose appearance matches that of Mr. Deeds appears within the vicinity of several major heads of state and assassinates them using whatever tools are immediately available, and then disappearing just as quickly. I don't know why this stopped after the first day. SCP-610. Samples of SCP-610 are dispersed by embedded Foundation agents within many major cities, including New York and Delhi. All civilians in the area, along with the agents themselves, are quickly infected and succumb to SCP-610. Further spread of SCP-610 is halted by the combined efforts of the Global Occult Coalition and the Church of the Broken God. SCP-682. Released. I don't understand why any of this is happening. Downloaded File 01-2. This is news footage I managed to download between drinking sessions. Begin log. Reporter Maria Henderson is speaking from inside a GOC evacuation tent. Scrolling header indicates that she is speaking from the outskirts of Trostad, Sweden. Behind her, patients can be seen being treated by doctors in full protective gear. Maria herself is wearing a surgical mask pulled up slightly to allow her to speak into the microphone, which kind of defeats the purpose if you ask me. Maria Henderson. Repeating what has been previously put out by the Global Occult Coalition, residents that have not already evacuated the area are advised to seal themselves inside their homes as quickly as possible using whatever materials are available. One of the doctors behind her, attending a patient, stands up with urgency, looking over to a soldier standing at the beds. Doctor. We've got an expiration! Get the eraser ready! Maria Henderson quickly begins moving about out of the tent into a tent filled with similar installations. A loud buzzing sound can be heard from the tent behind her, and several flashing lights can be seen. A thick smoke pours out of the gap from the top of the tent. Maria Henderson. Any individuals still in a compromised area are advised to be careful and keep a careful watch over those around them. If any friends or family members begin to, begin exuding a noticeable, minty smell, there be to quarantine them. The feed immediately cuts out. I later found out this is when the television stopped everywhere, internet too. World gone blind in a few seconds. End log. Journal entry 01-5. It's funny, with all supplies in this place, not to mention this exclusion harness, I'd probably survive for years right here. But the idea of being sat here with no idea what's going on in the outside world, it's unbearable. Still, I'm not sure whether I really want to know what's happening out there either. When I was a kid, real sick all the time, not able to go out that much, I was really into these detective stories, Sherlock Holmes and all that shit. I always wanted to figure things out. Anyway, my dad had this row of plant pots on the wall outside the house. They were always getting knocked over, but he could never figure out what was doing it. That was pretty much the peak of my detective obsession. So, I was on the case like nothing else. I was a stupid shit, so I couldn't actually deduce anything, you understand? So I ended up buying this cheap spy camera and recording the wall overnight. It was a stray cat. My dad ended up kicking it to death, like I should have known he would. Curiosity? Well, you know the saying. Everyone involved would have been better off if I had minded my own business. Except my dad. But fuck him. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I'd rather do something than nothing, I guess. Besides, if I have the exclusion harness, nothing that would want to hurt me will ever know I'm here. I'm a tourist at the end of the world. Destination? Site 19. Closest real Foundation installation. Only makes sense. I'm getting some answers. Recorded file 01 1. Context. Encounter with Foundation elements a few days after leaving shelter. Watching weird behavior. Begin log. Viewing a group of Foundation soldiers in a clearing from a distance, 9 in total, stood in a line. A 10th soldier, the commander, silently pacing back and forth in front of them. Uniforms and insignia looked those from MTF Epsilon 6, village idiots. After a few seconds, the commander claps her hands once and steps toward the line. Commander to the first soldier in line. Performing check now. Soldier 1. Of course. The commander takes a knife out and stabs the soldier in the shoulder. There is no reaction. Removing knife. Get that wound treated, soldier. The soldier nods, and the commander proceeds to stab each other soldier in line with the same way, with no reaction from any of the victims until the 8th, who noticeably winces. Soldier 8. Ugh! Commander shouting, "We got a live one!" The commander and all of the soldiers quickly aim their guns and fire upon soldier number 8, killing him. He drops to the ground. The commander then moves to the 9th soldier and stabs him in the shoulder. No visible reaction. Commander. Alright, we're clear. Move out. MTF Epsilon 6 pack up their supplies and leave the area, leaving the corpse of the dead soldier where it is. I manage to retrieve weaponry and basic medical supplies from the body. Bury it as well as I can afterwards. End log. Closing notes. I've got no fucking clue what just happened. Recorded file 01-2. Context. A weird transmission I caught from an old radio. I don't know if it's important, but I'm trying to get everything down for posterity. Begin log. Audio only. Voice is male, around my age I'd guess. Voice. 7, 5. Can you hear me? There is a hole shining in the holes between your eyelids. I've never been to Versailles before. I want to be loved. 9. I am standing behind you now. 5. I am 2 of us, standing behind you now. The goddess eats the city in the sea. 9. There is a hole in the floor with an answer waiting in it. 7. Look, you're hatching. You're hatching. Message continues on a loop. End log. Closing notes. The message stopped once I turned the radio over and saw it was damaged beyond repair. Am I feeling okay? Journal entry 01-6. When I thought of Site 19 as being relatively close by, I never really took into account that was probably with a vehicle in mind. I can't risk cars or anything like that. Even if I went unnoticed, the vehicle wouldn't. All it takes is one Foundation soldier or one wandering anomaly to spot it, and I'm as good as dead. But still, marching through the woods, even with harness protection, isn't the most pleasant of experience. It'd be hard to move out of the way if anything came trapezing through, just for one. Just because things can't notice me doesn't mean they can't run me down. Gives me time to think though. Like, why the hell am I even going to Site 19? What do I hope to accomplish? If I wanted to stay out of danger, survive as long as possible, I'd be best suited to getting as far away from any Foundation personnel as possible, not jumping straight into the Viper's nest. Answers, I guess. More than anything, I want answers, even if I get kicked to death afterwards. Composed file 01-2. I reached Site 19. Security's in disrepair. Most of the anomalies were let loose a while ago, so it was actually pretty easy to get in. Still stressful though, moving out of the way of the researchers as they went about their business. They were still talking like colleagues, discussing how to get maximum human casualties like it was something they were always doing. But their eyes, it was like something was missing from them. Some spark. I couldn't see them as human looking at their eyes. Maybe not even alive. It's hard to describe, but it gave me the creeps. Accessing the Foundation database with some stolen senior staff credentials, I think I've managed to put together a basic timeline of what happened right before their declaration of war. I don't know what it all means, but I guess it's a start. Following is a list of dates and events. 16/12/2019. The O5 marker project called Numa as being of special interest to senior staff. Apparently it was a masked and mystic project like Kaleidoscope, except mostly focused on the collective human unconsciousness, the psychospace, whatever you want to call it. Apparently there was some kind of breakthrough in mapping that psychospace, except I can't see what it was because it's fucking redacted. Typical. 17/12/2019. A vote is undertaken by the O5 Council, with the result being unanimous. Ethics Committee also concurs. Don't know what the votes were about because it's fucking redacted. 19/12/2019. A series of instructions, redacted instructions of course, are sent to all senior staff members and site directors. A wave of suicides and resignations go out all across the Foundation, with Dr. Charles Gears being one of the employees resigning. 22/12/2019. A number of files are sent out to all remaining senior staff members and site directors, with instructions to also disseminate those materials among the staff serving under them. The files are accompanied by the message, "Harden your hearts." All suicides and resignations immediately cease following the dissemination of the materials. 25/12/2019. Full block on all communications in and out of Foundation sites. Termination of the majority of human and human sympathetic anomalies is performed by the staff at each site over the course of the next week. Information suggests an assassination team was sent after Dr. Charles Gears, but it doesn't say whether or not they were successful or not. 02/01/2020. Mobile task forces are dispatched to all exclusionary sites to execute all personnel. Immediately following the conclusion of these missions, the Foundation declares war on humanity. I'm not quite certain what this all means. Did the O5 Council send out some kind of memetic agent to get everyone to go along with them? But that wouldn't explain why the O5 Council would want to wipe out humanity in the first place. I don't get it. I just don't get it. More information on the anomalies the Foundation are actively using too. With the news down, it's hard to get much solid info outside of their own records. And even those are still goddamn fucking redacted. I mean, it's the end of the world. What's the fucking point of redacting shit anymore? Who cares? Just tell me what the fuck is going on. You know, fuck it. I'll put it all on the table for posterity or whatever. Follows is the anomalies and actions taken by the Foundation. SCP-1370. Television services temporarily returns. All channels are propaganda speeches from SCP-1370, rambling on and on about how he's going to take over the world or whatever. This one actually isn't that bad. SCP-1048. I don't know how the Foundation managed to catch the thing in the first place, but helicopter footage shows hordes of bears created by 1048 rushing through the streets of Paris. The footage isn't too clear, so I'm not sure, but it looks like there's a massive red teddy in the distance as well, walking around next to the skyscrapers. SCP-1290. SCP-1290-1 and SCP-1290-2 are moved from their original position and used as a rudimentary projectile system to launch projectiles at secure GOC installation called Ganzir. Not 100% certain of the files, but it looks like just one frankly obscene number of anomalies they're using to try and bust in there. If you ask me, they better off just firing missiles. Nobody's asking me because, well, they've all gone nuts. SCP-1440. SCP-1440 is transported from a refugee camp to refugee camp by Mobile Task Force Nu 22, Rocketman, where its anomalous effect caused rapid devastation by those fleeing communities. Strangely enough, the way these events are described in the files make it sound like SCP-1440 actually has no effect on the Foundation personnel assigned to it. SCP-1678. The Foundation intentionally abandons containment of SCP-1678, removing personnel from the immediate area. Once chaos caused by additional anomalies makes evacuation of London impossible, Officials from the British Occult Service direct citizens to take refuge in SCP-1678 below. Once the city has reached capacity, the Foundation detonates the nuclear device stationed in there prior to abandonment. I'm gonna try and investigate some more of this before getting out of here and see what else I can find. Files deleted. Transmission ends. Journal entry 01-7. It's been about 3 months since my last entry. God knows what I've been doing since then. The time between then and now is complete blank in my memory, and it looks like the files from that period have been deleted as well. As far as I know, I should be the only one able to do that, so take of it what you will. I seem like I've been through a few rough patches. I've got a few scars I don't quite recognize and have a bandage wrapped around my temple. The exclusion harness doesn't seem to be damaged though, so I don't know what hurt me. Did I fall off a cliff or something? The sad part is I can actually see myself doing something like that. Never was the smartest. Site 19 is long gone. Well, it's still there, I assume, but I'm halfway across the country. I couldn't tell you why. It's weird though. I feel like I've got a purpose now, even though I'm not 100% sure what it is. Just where I need to go. There's a briefcase in my hand, and I'm having trouble recalling exactly what's inside of it. All I know is that it isn't round, and I needed to get it to SCP-579. Files deleted. Journal entry 01-8. I underestimated how long it would take me to get to SCP-579. Site 19 was a trek all on its own, but 579 is another story entirely. I wouldn't even know where it was without this documentation, of which I still have no idea how I obtained, but that's besides the point. I've stopped counting the number of corpses I've walked past. It's probably in the quadruple digits by now. Jesus, maybe even higher. I came across the dead body of a kid, a little boy in a house I was grabbing some supplies from a while back. At first, I thought he'd just been shot in the head, but when I went to bury him, I could see there were things moving underneath his skin. Little pale worms, hundreds of them, that poured out the second I touched them. They all had his face. They were all laughing, scurried off into the drain. I don't try to bury people anymore. Keeping going is a lot more difficult than you'd think. Composed file 01-3. This thing in the briefcase is a godsend. I don't know what the hell it is, but if things are getting too much for me, I just need to open it up. And next thing I know, I'm miles further along than where I just was. Feeling all warm inside like something just gave me a pep talk. It's like my own personal skip button for when things are getting rough. I managed to get temporary access to Foundation database from the corpse of an agent I found half buried in the woods. Wolves were already helping themselves to them, but they obviously didn't mind me taking his laptop. Well, they didn't notice me anyway. The Foundation is still throwing everything they've got at everyone else. I'll put this to another table. Might as well. Following is the anomalies and the actions taken by the Foundation. SCP-5000. The Foundation intentionally triggers the eruption of Yellowstone, obliterating SCP-5000. For now, anomalies deployed by the Mana Charitable Foundation have slowed down the environmental effects at an absurd rate, but it's still just a matter of time before we all choke on ash. SCP-2200. Somehow, the Foundation seems to have mass-produced SCP-2200-1, and those swords are making their way into the hands of refugees. With all the victims of SCP-2200-1 are cutting down, SCP-2200-3 is overflowing, with a mountain of living SCP-2200-4 trapped under a mountain of dead SCP-2200-4. SCP-2200-41. One of the few human anomalies that weren't terminated. It appears SCP-2241 is being used as a living weapon to destroy the biggest refugee camps that crop up, forcing the survivors to remain in smaller groups. Unknown how they're getting it to be that loyal, but I doubt it's pleasant. Last information on SCP-2241 says it's being deployed to assist with the siege at Ganzer. Apparently they're having some trouble. SCP-2266. SCP-2466. SCP-2466 was constantly being used in order to compel survivors originating from California to perform actions both socially disruptive and physically hostile. This was apparently effective, but after 4,020th use of SCP-2466, it crashed and became unusable. I guess there wasn't any residents left. SCP-2639. SCP-2639 were being dispatched to survivor communities and installations for groups that are opposed to the Foundation in order to kill everyone present. Apparently, they were told that they were fighting monsters that had escaped from containment and were destroying the world. Clearly, they figured out that wasn't the case, because they've refused to do anything since about the 6th time they were deployed. Good for them. Journal entry 01-9. It's nice having company, even if they don't know you're there. I'm sat around a fire with a couple of GOC soldiers who are trying to make their way. Well, I don't think they're actually trying to have anywhere to go at this point, just wandering maybe. I thought about revealing myself, trying to ask them for help to get me to 579, but I don't want to risk it. Maybe I've just gotten used to not existing. Forget being a tourist. I'm a ghost. This suit is really a wonder. Managed to access a connection to the GOC database while they were making coffee. The news isn't good. Downloaded file 01-3. Interview log and transcript from an interrogation facility inside Ganzir. As far as I'm aware, this is the first time a captured member of a Foundation personnel has spoken during interrogation. The interviewer is a Commander Morrison, with a scientist called Dr. Rhodes also being there. The guy being interrogated is a member of Mobile Task Force Omega 2, Secret Keepers, Samuel Ross. No video, only audio. Don't know if that's something wrong with the file, or just the way it was recorded in the first place. Begin log. Commander Morrison. Do you know where you are? Samuel Ross. I'm in Ganzir, right? You guys grabbed us while we were trying to sneak in. Commander Morrison. That's right. Do you know why you're here? Samuel Ross. You're going to interrogate me, I assume. Commander Morrison. Doctor? Dr. Rhodes. Confirmed. Subject has nothing implanted inside him. No mental agents or cognito hazards either. You're safe to begin. Commander Morrison. Okay. None of your colleagues that we've spoken to have talked. Not a one, not a word. So why are you talking to me now? Samuel Ross. We've met before. Don't you remember? Commander Morrison. I'm sorry. Samuel Ross. In that joint operation in Tenerife a few years back. With the seagull prints. Do you remember? I was wearing a gas mask back then, so you probably don't recognize me. But I recognized you, and you gave me a chuckle. That's why I'm talking. Commander Morrison. That's the only reason? When we caught you trying to sneak into the city with the refugees, you and your comrades started firing into the crowd at random. Men, women, and children, all murdered for no reason. Don't you think that's crazy? Samuel Ross laughs quietly in the background. Dr. Rhodes. What a fucker. Commander Morrison. So this is funny to you, is it, Samuel? Samuel Ross. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I just thought it was a little hypocritical. Commander Morrison. Excuse me, what? Samuel Ross. I mean, well, you're interrogating me. Like the information you'll get will help you. But there's no time for you to really do anything, the way I see it. No matter how many times you fire Abel at her, Professor Crow's Europa will rip this place open before long. But you're still acting like you can do something about it. Don't you think that's crazy? Commander Morrison. If you've just spoken up to talk nonsense, we can always try enhanced interrogation. I don't want to, but we'll do it. Samuel Ross. Do what you want. Once you realize you're not supposed to feel pain, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Commander Morrison. What do you mean by that? Samuel Ross. Nah, you wouldn't want me to say. Commander Morrison. Oh, I very much do. Samuel Ross. I'm not talking to you anymore. Commander Morrison. That doesn't make any sense. Tell me. Now. Samuel Ross. Are you sure? Commander Morrison. We're still good on inoculations? Dr. Rhodes. Cleared on all the Foundation kill agents. Yes. Commander Morrison. Then spit it out, Ross. Stop stalling, or we'll get unpleasant. Samuel Ross. Fine. Commander Morrison. I didn't catch that. Dr. Rhodes. You'll have to speak up. The microphone's only got so much gain. Samuel Ross. Redacted. Commander Morrison and Dr. Rhodes can be heard screaming loudly. Wet cracks and the sound of rushing wind are also audible. The screaming, which grows higher pitched over time, continues for the remainder of the recording. Samuel Ross. Look what you've done to yourselves. I told you wouldn't like it, didn't you? That's why you hear your voice. But you wanted to know so badly. I really liked you guys, so I was trying to be nice. We're so kind to you, you know. We fight in the light so you can die in the dark. Disgusting. End log. Closing notes. Apparently, right after this, some kind of emergency arose inside Ganzier, and the city ended up being destroyed from both the inside and outside. Files don't mention specifics, but the GOC may be done. Files deleted. Journal entry 01-10. It's getting hard to keep going. When the GOC were keeping up the fight, there was this sense that things could still be turned around. But with them on the run, now it's too easy to feel like there's no point to all of this. With Ganzier taken care of, the Foundation's turned their full attention back to everyone else now. I don't eat or drink anymore. The harness takes care of all that. Anyway, there's too much of a risk that anything I consume will be contaminated by one of the awful viruses the Foundation is trying to spread. I've seen corpses in pretty much every state of imaginable at this point, some of them walking around even. Every time I open up the briefcase to skip, I make little less progress, feel a little worse. Whatever was helping me before, it's like I've grown numb to it. But it wouldn't be the only thing. Why am I even going to 579? Do I even have a reason? Composed file 01-4. Oh, the Foundation's still fucking us. Here's another table about it. Following are the anomalies released and the actions taken by the Foundation. SCP-3078. Apparently, the Church of the Broken God managed to get the internet back up and running in some areas. Only the Foundation fucked that up pretty quick by uploading 10,000 copies of 3078 through pretty much every medium available. So, the internet went back down. SCP-3179. Thing was freed from containment after the Church of the Broken God started trying to rebuild things. Sparked a civil war inside the church over whether this thing is McCain or not, which really put a damper on their ability to help us. Plus, it's making many fucking Terminator things as it can, so that's fun. SCP-3199. SCP-3199 eggs are now being airdropped by pretty much wherever. I'm sure you can imagine how that's going. I'll probably write more later, who knows. Journal entry 01-11. I've been making my way towards 579, maybe a little slower than before, but who can blame me for a lack of motivation? Been seeing some strange things lately, stranger than usual, I mean. First are the blinkers, and quite a few of those around lately. Now I'm pretty sure they were created by the Foundation, even if I don't know how. I don't know most things, so I'll just add this to the list. They're statues. Statues of soldiers. MTF uniforms with empty sockets for eyes. Their arms are carved into blades, like what you'd see on a praying mantis or something. They're harmless as long as you look at them, but the second you look away, they can move, and they're fast. I saw one cut through an entire crowd of people with a gust of smoke blocked it from their view just for a second. I'm wary of them. Me looking at them stops them too. So even if they don't perceive where I am, they're going to deduce that I'm there. Might just start slicing everything in sight, and that's the enemy. I need to do my best to avoid them completely. Second thing I saw is, well, it's a lot weirder. It was on the horizon, like a person stretched out. No, that's not the best way to describe it. It was like space around them was stretched out, and they were being stretched along with it, like some kind of bad Photoshop effect. Their body went from the ground up to the clouds, and their jaw swung at right angles. There were these gaps as well. Black gaps in space around its body, like wings. It just floated forwards like that. There were these Foundation guys there too, but they were fighting it, shooting it with guns and rockets. How fucked up is I'm thinking of the Foundation fighting an anomaly is weird. Maybe they were like me, managed to get out of all this when it all kicked off. Thought about talking to them, but decided not to. I can't risk it. I gotta get out of here. I need to get to 579. I need to do something. Anything. Journal entry 01 12. I saw a kid die today. I could have helped her. I didn't. I'm a piece of shit. Composed file 01 4. Follows is anomalies released and actions taken by the Foundation. SCP-4290. Through use of a sample of SCP-008 enhanced by SCP-914, the Foundation reanimates the corpse of SCP-4290 and lets it loose. Kaiju monsters from the Serpent Hand engage, but their file isn't clear on what the results are. Heard the library detached from this universe, but it looks like these guys stayed behind. Idiots. SCP-4666. The Foundation used temporal anomalies to make it look like so technically it's Christmas everywhere. Oh, fuck it. No one's ever gonna read this thing anyway. Recorded file 01 3. Context, no input. Begin log. View is of the interior of an abandoned jewelry store from the front door. The night sky can be seen through a broken window. A teenage girl is sitting at a makeshift fire in the middle of the store. A ruby amulet is hanging around her neck. Perception filter disabled. The girl jumps back, picking up a rusty pipe as a weapon. Girl, who are you? Pietro. I recognized you. The necklace, I mean. Girl. Ah, shit. Did they send you to kill me? You're gonna be here a while. Pietro. No, I got away too. Did you get away too? Girl. Jesus, you look like shit, pal. When was the last time you slept? Pietro. The suit, you don't need to sleep with it on. Girl. You do need to sleep. Your face, it's just, seriously, it's a disaster, man. You hate to see it. Pietro. Can I come in? The girl steps back, gesturing theatrically at the store with one arm. But of course, there's enough broken glass for everybody. Pietro staggers in and sits down on the floor. The sound of crunching glass can be heard. Girl, I was joking, you know. You could have grabbed the chair. Pietro. It's fine. The suit's sturdy. Girl. Well, suit yourself then. That's a fancy piece of kit you got there. You want to trade? Pietro. No way. I've read the file. Girl. Worth a shot. Been a while since you left, huh? Pietro. Not been much to laugh at lately. Girl. Not even when Pesterbot showed up on all the TVs? Pietro. Okay, well, that was kind of funny. Girl. So, you got away too. I mean, assuming you were a Foundation guy. Not many people I've pissed off in my lifetime are here for revenge. Pietro. Aren't those the same thing? Girl. Now you're getting it. Pietro. Yeah, I'm Foundation. Was Foundation, I mean. I got lucky when all this started. Got into the suit and escaped. You? Girl. I was senior staff. We would have been told about the plan before anyone else, but damn if I can remember where or what it was. Probably because of the second file. Pietro. The second file, you saw it? What was it? Girl. Whoa, cool your jets, kid. We've got all the time in the world. They were just a bunch of images. Eggs, trees, religious stuff. Didn't mean anything to me by themselves, but I guess they had something encoded in them. It didn't take like they should have. Probably because of this thing. She taps the necklace. Pietro. So, it was a mimetic agent. Girl. I don't know about that. I've pretty much had everything that can happen to me, well, happen to me. I know what a mimetic agent feels like, and it didn't feel like that. More like I was being released from something than something was being forced onto me. Pietro. I see. So you really don't know what's going on either. Girl. Nope. Pietro. Fuck. Girl. So, you were heading somewhere, or were you just wandering around feeling sorry for yourself? Pietro. I'm headed to 579. Girl. Well, if you're suicidal, there's easier ways to go about it, believe me. Pietro. You know what it is? Girl. Not a clue, which is concerning, because I'm kind of a big deal. Pietro. Doesn't matter. I have to get there. Girl. Why? Pietro. I just do. Where are you headed? Girl. 1437. Gonna see if I can't piss it off into another universe. Then throw this amulet down there and see where I wake up. Pietro. Sounds like a plan. Good luck to you. Girl. I'd wish you good luck, but we both know you're not getting it. Day's about to break. I'm headed off. Pietro. Okay. See ya. Girl. I hope you at least find what you're looking for. Pietro. Me too. Log ends. Files deleted. Journal entry 01-13. Hey, Journal. It's been a while. Right now, I'm looking at Site 62C, where SCP-579 is supposed to be. There are no guards, and as far as I can see, all the security is down. It looks like the place has been abandoned for a while. I was under the impression that this place was extremely high priority, but it looks like the Foundation doesn't agree with me anymore. I have the briefcase in my hands. It's difficult to breathe. I feel like everything will end soon, one way or another. I'm headed in. Journal entry 01-14. Hi again, Journal. I know I ended the last entry so dramatically, and it's been about 30 seconds since then, but I have an important update. The second I got close to Site 62C, I got a feeling like someone was pressing a gun against the back of my head. Like I was standing on the edge of a roof and someone's hands were on my back, ready to push me. Some fight or flight bullshit, dialed up as far as it would go. I don't know what SCP-579 is, but I know it's looking at me. Recorded file 01-4. Context. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Begin log. View is the inside of a hallway within Site 62C. Severe damage is visible on walls, appearing as if it was done with usage of a large knife. The lights overhead flicker. Pietro. Fuck. The lights flicker again. When they come back on, a statue of his shoulder with blades for arms is visible underneath them. It has empty sockets where its eyes should be, and its face is locked in a snarling expression. End log. Closing notes. Was wrong. They're here. Journal entry 01-15. I was right. Even if they can't notice me, they figured out I'm here, slashing everything in sight. They gouged one of my legs. It hurts like shit, but I need to keep moving. They're not chasing me, but they're headed to the same place. I need to get there first. I need to keep watching them. Journal entry 01-16. Made it. I made it. Journal entry 01-17. It's not fair, but I made it. That's not fair. They're stuck behind the door. I can hear them slashing at it, but it's reinforced. It'll hold for a little while. A couple minutes at least. I'm in an observation chamber, full of instruments monitoring SCP-579. The actual containment chamber is right below me. I can just barely see it, if I strain my eyes a little. There's a hole. There's a hole in the floor that leads right down there. I know where 579 is. Even if the instruments weren't here, I can feel it. You can't be near it without feeling it, probably. For a second, I thought I could just drop the briefcase into the hole and be done with it. But that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? After walking halfway across the world, I guess I haven't earned the right for something to be easy. From the angle of the hole and where 579 is, the briefcase wouldn't even come close to touching it. The only way it's making contact is if I were to jump in the hole and throw it on my way down. But at that height, throwing the briefcase would be the last thing I'd do. Of course. Of fucking course. It's taken me my whole life to realize, but I'm not the kind of person that can be a detective. I'm just a murder victim. I die for someone else's story, and the human race is going with me. I know who done it, how done it, and those were obvious. Everyone knows those. Those were handed to me. But I don't know why. In the end, I couldn't figure out even a single thing. Why is this happening? Why is the Foundation killing everybody? Why is this happening? Why did they send out those files? Why is this happening? Why did Ganser fall? Why is this happening? Why am I taking this briefcase across the world? Why is this happening? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I going to die? Is there a reason? If anyone is ever reading this, please, please figure it out. Explain it to me. Someone. Anyone. Don't get it. I don't get it. They're about to get in. First foot forward, I guess. Journal entry 01-18. Oh. So that's how it is, I guess. All life signs terminated.